who have joined today for this webinar titled Prospects of Fermented Foods and Other Value-Added Products of Northeast Region of India, Potentials and Enhancement of Livelihood of Common People. I, Runa Chakravarti, faculty as the moderator on behalf of Royal School of Pharmacy, extend my heartiest welcome to you all to this webinar. This webinar is a part of the Royal Global University Departmental Webinar Series, which has been organized by the Royal School of Pharmacy, Royal Global University. The Royal Global University is one of the leading universities of Northeast India, which has been ranked as #1 private university by Education World. The university is committed to provide unparalleled education to render holistic development of the students. RGU runs 27 schools and 134 plus programs in its campus. One of the strongest pillars of Royal Global University is its highly qualified and well-experienced intellectual capital with over 250 plus faculties who also serve as the motivation catalyst for over 5,000 students. RGO strives for academic excellence through research-intensive and industry-oriented education, instilled with a strong sense of becoming a global citizen. So before moving to the talk, I request all the participants to please drop their questions in the question chat box, as we will be having a question answer session afterwards. And our Vice Chancellor sir also have joined. Welcome sir, and a very good afternoon. So moving on to have a talk on this important topic, we have with us honorable guest, senior scientist Dr. Onkar Nath Tiwari. So, and we also have with us our honorable Vice Chancellor sir, Professor Dr. Sanjay Pratap Singh. And now, may I take the opportunity to introduce our honorable Vice Chancellor sir to our esteemed speaker and to all the participants. Our honorable Vice Chancellor sir, Professor Dr. Sanjay Pratap Singh. I would just like to say a few lines about sir before he takes over the mic. Sir, with his strong personality and hard work, with a positive attitude, has been able to brought Royal Global University a shining position in which it is now among all other top universities in the country. He is a well-known academician across the country, an eminent speaker, a leader, an academic administrator, a research scholar, having an experience of over 2 decades. He has been associated with Royal Global Institution as the founder director. He was the senior vice president, academics of Amity Education Group with 7 universities. He has also an experience of working with several institutions in India and abroad as well. Sir was also the Vice Chancellor of Amity University of Raipur before joining as the Vice Chancellor of the Assam Royal Global University since November 2016. Sir, I request you to take over the mic and put forward your introductory remarks.
Thank you so much, Runa, for a very elaborated introduction of mine. Our very, very esteemed speaker for today's webinar, Dr. Omkar Nath Tripathi ji, namaskar. Good afternoon to everyone present here and all my esteemed colleagues from University, Royal Global University, other universities of India, and very dear participants. I think we are going to discuss a very, very important, pertinent topic by none other than Dr. Omkar Nath Tiwari ji, who is actually working with ICAR as a senior, very senior scientist. And I'm very sure that his deliberation today will definitely enrich in many ways all my students of pharmacy, medical sciences, allied sciences in many ways. As a vice chancellor, I humbly wish to submit that I'm still a learner, a very good teacher. I believe I still take classes and I continue my research. I have few research scholars under me. And Northeast, almost I'm working from last 11 years. And during this period of time, I have seen many things around me, including many kinds of pickles, many kind of other preserve items, many kind of food around me. I could not have, enough courage to taste everything, but I tasted some of those things and I found those things very tasty. And I think they are very good for health also, keeping in mind the overall physical setting of Northeast India, and also about Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Manipur, especially. So I think I've been reading a few things. I could not read much. Uh, Tiwari ji, I just want to tell you about my background. Basically, my father is a man of agriculture, and we have a lot of agricultural land in the city of Lucknow. And we were thinking of having many kind of things. And my PhD is also on agri-business clusters. And also some inputs have been given on the food chain and other things, and increasing the shelf life of the mangoes and preservatives and preserving them, and how to make farmers and the most important people of this country who are feeding all of us during this pandemic time also, and we have found no dearth of food, vegetables and fruits around us. So I really wanted to do many things for them, and therefore I decided to do my strategic business PhD in that area. And I have found many things. But from my childhood days till date, from my maternal grandmother, that is Nani, to Dadi and to everything, I mean, we have been used to of having a lot of things at our home that has been preserved for a longer duration of time, and that was basically first fermented and preserved. And I belong to an area where we have a lot of sugar cane. We have a lot of sugar cane juices, and those juices are being preserved and fermented, and they have been fermented in an earthen pot. I remember I myself have seen. Then they have been put for a few months on some place, some damp area, so that they ferment further. And we used to thin out the vinegar from it. The brown vinegar, which we normally use, is a very popular fermented thing at our age. This is my knowledge about fermented food. As far as mesu, soybum, nagari, hentek, there are two of I think bamboo shoots being preserved, and two of them are basically fish, which has been preserved in a different manner. They have been dried for 24 hours. Then they are pressed under some weight, and then they are again put up in a 40-50 kgs of earthen pot, and they have been kept for 3-4 months. That is probably nagari is. And hentek is also been done for 7 days or 12 days, and they are supplement for food in many ways. But other than that, I personally tell you that I'm very fond of fermented food, and I belong to the city of Lucknow and stayed in Delhi for a longer duration of time. So the khameer, what we use normally when the wheat has been, or maybe maida or wheat has been fermented, and they get some kind of thickness here, and then we either make khameri roti, which is very popular in my city, and also we have bhaturas, which are basically fermented, and then they have been chola bhatura. So those fermented things, and I personally feel that they are very useful for my intestine, for my appetite, for my body. And I presume that in today's deliberation, Tiwari ji will speak on this, that how fermented food are good for our health, and how they can give us, probably, I'm not sure, I mean, only expert can advise, can become and can be helpful for us in our gut fermentation, or maybe our food digestion, and how frequently we should take, why is the yeast is very important for our body. So all those things, I'm very inquisitive. I'm just putting a few points, maybe because of my limited knowledge in this area, but then whatever I felt in my life personally in last 30 years of teaching and 53 years of life, I'm sharing with you all. Maybe beneficial to you, may not be, but I wanted to put my mind, because I wanted to tell Tiwari ji that I'm very interested for your deliberation. And I'm very thankful for pharmacy department and all people in this school to organize this webinar. Thank you so very much. God bless you all. Stay safe, stay healthy. Over to Runa.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a valuable insight. Now, with immense pleasure, I take the opportunity to introduce to our today's esteemed speaker, Honorable Dr. Onkar Nath Tiwari, sir, Senior Scientist, Center for Conservation and Utilization of Blue-Green Algae, Division of Microbiology, ICAR, Indian Agricultural Research Institute. He has bagged several national and international awards, among which there are 3 Honorary Fellowship Award to Best Paper Presentation Award. He is a lifetime member of 9 scientific societies. He has got recognition for PhD guideship in 5 universities. He has chaired many international conferences or highly empowered task force meetings. He is also an editorial board member in 3 international journals. He has also worked as visiting professor for 6 months at Cultural Collection of Algae, University of Texas of Austin, Texas, USA during 15th June to 14th December 2012 under DBT Associateship Program. Now, I request sir to please take over the mic and the screen.
It's for me now. गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीबॉडी। सिंह साहब, आपने तो हमारा सब कुछ बोल दिया, हम क्या बोलेंगे?
Nice. I tried.
आपने तो सब कुछ हमारा तो हेडेक ही खत्म कर दिया, हम क्या बोलेंगे?
नहीं तिवारी जी, मैंने तो बहुत छोटी छोटी बातें छुई हैं जिसको सुनने में मैं इंटरेस्टेड हूँ. आई एम रियली वेरी इंटरेस्टेड टू नो मोर अबाउट इट.
It's visible now?
Sir, your
No, sir, the
computer
your computer screen is visible. Your presentation is not visible yet, sir.
Not visible?
you have to open your presentation.
Yeah, my presentation is visible now. First slide is visible.
No, sir.
No.
Just your screen is visible.
Okay. Once again, good afternoon to all of you. See the first slide. Title is the prospects of fermented foods and other value-added products of northeastern region of India. Potential and enhancement of livelihood of common people. First slide itself explaining so much. EMA market. EMA means mother market in Manipur is probably the only market in the world that is run by all women, a place where equality is preached and practiced. If you visit to the particularly Imphal market, you will see such kinds of the setup and beauty. Not only this market, there are so many markets run by the only ladies, but all kinds of vendor allowed. In this presentation, I will cover 2 states. One is the Manipur and another is the Agartala, Tripura. Things are probably you may be having knowledge or not. 2004 to 2016, I worked in Manipur under one of the DBTs. That's why deliberately I have selected this topic. Since I spent more than 12 years, around 12 years in Northeast region, and you are sitting in the Northeast, in Guwahati, so I decided that when your Devnath approached me, I have to deliver. Actually, our institute IRC is going on, is still going on. But I decided if I will get opportunity, certainly I will discuss the things which is available in the Northeast region. That's why I selected. Other things, although I am in Delhi, you are in Guwahati, but participants is worldwide. These platforms nowadays, lockdown has given some good things to us. Otherwise, we never think we have to go for the presentation on the Zoom or the MS team or like this. With some limited number of the participants here, anyone can join, ask, communicate. So this is the good platform which we got. As I said, participants are representation from the Northeast region, India, and I am sure there may be some foreign participants also. Indian peoples and Northeast peoples are very much aware about the demography of the Northeast region, but others not. So my second slide is different geographical habitats of the Northeast region of India. You know, Northeast region earlier known as the Seven Sisters, due to inclusion of 7 states in the entire Northeast region. After the inclusion of the Sikkim in the Northeastern region, now it become the 8 sisters. See, in area-wise, largest state is the Arunachal Pradesh, then Assam, because Arunachal Pradesh area is around 84,000 square kilometer. Following the Assam around 78 square kilometer, then Sikkim only 7,000 square kilometer, Meghalaya 22,000 square kilometer, Tripura 10,000 square kilometer, Mizoram 21,000 square kilometer, Manipur 22. Majority of the area is the hilly area. Some areas have the valley. Demography is entirely different if you compare with the other states of the India. So this is the demography of the Northeast region, and every state is having their unique cultures and unique product. In my presentation, I will cover the mainly 2 states. One is the Manipur and another is the Tripura. See, Singh Saab has already said much about the fermented bamboo shoot, soybean, Hawaii jar, ngari, sisar seed. But in first pictures here, you can see fermented bamboo shoots, which is the soybean, commonly known as the soybean. And it's a very, very delicacy of the Manipur, particularly in Manipur and some parts of the other states of the Northeast region. Without these products, their foods are not going to be completed at any way. Second, you can see the fermented soybean Hawaii jar. How people are, these are the traditional methods. Why I have selected these things? If there is the scientific intervention come forward from the you peoples or the like some other professors, there may be the huge chances to improve the livelihood of the common peoples who are producing, who are consuming, and not getting proper market for the commercialization, or these are the actually perishable item also. If there is some scientific interventions, there are the schemes in the funding agency. If some people come forward, work together, develop a good proposal, probably that may be the great contribution from the like you peoples to the common peoples or niche-based people or the society peoples. Third thing, see here the fermented fish, which is commonly known as ngari. Fermented fish, actually this is not a fermented fish, this is the traditional preservative fermented, as you say, khamir. Khamir is a fermented, but these are the not fermented. This is the traditional type of the storage for the longer period. If there is some methodology can be developed, because if, see, these are the earthen pots. Sometimes it took more than a year to come. get out in the market. If there is technology involved, probably it may complete within 2-3 months. So there may be the more production, more marketing, and more benefit to the people's whose livelihood depends on the only these products. This is this presentation may give another view to the workers, scientific community. If they interested, they can develop some proposals and work for the community peoples. That is the great demand of the community peoples who are producing, cultivating, and majority of them are the losing, because Bandh, general strike is a very common culture in the northeast region. If there is production come in the market today, and another 2-3 days, if there is the Bandh general strike, these are the perishable items. We have to think on these aspects too. Fermented food made of the bamboo shoots, as you said. In the northern state, different varieties of the fermented foods and beverages out of the bamboo shoots have been traditionally prepared and consumed. As I said, there is no scientific intervention. It is the only traditional knowledge. These fermented bamboo shoots products are rich in bioactive nutrient and possess functional probiotic properties as well as vitamin B supplier to human body. Some fermented food made up of bamboo shoots are described below. You said the soibam. In Manipur, there are 2 specific areas where soibum are very famous. If you go to the literature, you will see area-wise. Probably that depends on the soil where bamboo is cultivating or some ecological conditions, but these 2 areas are having different taste and people like it different taste. So soibum are the fermented bamboo shoot products and are indigenous foods of the state of Manipur. They are consumed as an indispensable part of the Manipuri diet and are part of the social customs of the people. Remember, social customs, not only the diet. When the apical meristems of the succulent bamboo shoots are fermented, the product is known as the soidan. So there is the 2 words. Initial stage, the same is known as the soidan, and in mature stage known as the soibam. Mesu, you also spell out the mesu in your remarking words. Mesu is another fermented bamboo shoot products indigenous to the people of Himalayan region of Darjeeling Hills and Sikkim. Lung Seji, another ethnic fermented bamboo shoot products, belongs to the state of Meghalaya and is produced mainly by the Khasi tribe. Ekung Hiring is another ethnic fermented bamboo shoot products of the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Yup is a dry fermented bamboo tender shoot products of Arunachal Pradesh. Mia Mikari is produced by the Dimasa tribe of the Assam. It's mean northeast region having the different kinds of the products by the different name in state to state. In case of the Manipur, it is the soibam. In case of the Sikkim and West Bengal, Darjeeling area, the same product known as the mesu, and the same product in Arunachal Pradesh known as the XYZ, like this. And their taste even varied from region to region, state to state. We have to study something. There is some microbiological interventions, soil textures, water, because these are playing the important role for the cultivation of the bamboo plants. And the way in the area, in soil conditions and availability of the water, their products taste also varied from region to region, space to space. Even in Manipur, there are the 2 areas and their products are having some different tastes and known as with the different names. You said the pickle, sir. See the pickle, beautiful pickle. And soibam, you can see that these are the soibam products from the Manipur. See, first, second, third, one can easily understood the products in one state variety of the products in one state, even the color, size, everything depends. And these are the only traditional methods. There is no much scientific interventions done till date. So this is the need of the community peoples. Someone come forward and do some basic research, and then only the products quality may increase. They may store it for longer period, sell as and when desired, and even it may come out from the boundary of the particular states like this. But it's need scientific interventions. Not you can't send or parcel it in a raw way. Otherwise, it may be perish. Now, after bamboo, now come to the fermented fish of any region of India. Many tribes of Northeast India prepare fermented fish, generally from the locally available small pieces of freshwater fish. These products with their exquisite taste and smell serve as a source of protein in the diets of the people. Some of them are mentioned below. Ngari. The fermented fish products, ngari, forms an intrinsic part of the diet of the Manipuri people in Manipur. Again, I am emphasizing here, repeating the same words. Actually, this is not a scientific fermented fish. This is the traditional methods for the storing purpose. You can easily understand the differences between the fermentation as well as the traditional methods, storage traditional methods. Hentak, it is another fermented fish products prepared in the state of Manipur. It comes in the form of paste. Hentak is consumed as a curry as well as a supplement with boiled rice. Sometimes it is given to women in the final stage of their pregnancy or patients recovering from sickness or injury. These are the traditional methods. One has to come out to study actually what is the ingredients serving and having in the products. Tungtap, this is indigenous to the Khasi tribe of Meghalaya. Bunchi is a smoked and dried product commonly eaten by the Lepcha community of Sikkim. So like the previous slide, you can see there are the fishes. People are consuming and knowing in the different name, consuming it, preserving it, but it needs to have the proper scientific study, scientific data. And see the ngari. Here in first slide, you can see the vendors selling their fermented, so-called fermented fishes in first slide as well as in the second slide, known as the ngari. And these pictures are from the Manipur. Fermented foods made by the soya bean. Come to the third product. First was the bamboo, second was the fish, and third is the soya bean. Soya bean in the Nepali language called batmas is a most common raw material for traditional preparation of various fermented and non-fermented foods in the eastern Himalayan region of Nepal, India, Bhutan. Everyone probably, I am sure everyone is aware about the power of soya bean, having the highest amount of the protein in the all vegan food items. In other parts of the country, people are using as a pulses or using in different ways. But this is the beauty of the Northeast region. People are using as well as, but they are using with some taste and some other more nutritious value. Kinema in a traditional fermented soya bean food prepared by the people of Nepal in the eastern Himalayas. It is whole soya bean fermented food which is very sticky with great tan color and is flavorsome. Kinema production is a source of income generation for many families in the eastern Himalayas. Hawai jar, the same product in Manipur with some different flavor and name is known as the Hawai jar. With a characteristic flavor and thickness, it has been consumed as a regular food in every household. Hawai jar is known for its unique organoleptic properties. It plays an economical, social, and cultural role in the culture and tradition of the Manipur state of India. It's almost every day people are using these things. But for the bamboo, it's season specific. It's not available in whole year. But Hawaiiza and Ngari available, they are storing and available in the plenty in the market. But bamboo is not all the times. Mostly it comes in the market during the rainy season, when the bamboo copal is coming out. Then Tungramai and ethnic fermented soybean food of the Meghalaya, prepared by the Khasi women. Axone is an ethnic sticky fermented soybean food for the Nagaland. Cooked soybeans are wrapped in the leaves of banana. The same way in Manipuri peoples also preparing. Dekang is a fermented soybean food of the Mizoram. It is consumed as a curry with the rice. Peryan is an ethnic fermented soybean food prepared by the Apatni women in Arunachal Pradesh. Again, like the previous two slides, Hawaiiza soybean is another value-added products available in the entire Northeast region with a different name, different flavor, but almost property are the same. These are the soybean you can see. Hawaiiza are soybean products. People are just wrapping in the banana leaves. When I was working in the Manipur, one of our scientists said that if it is wrapping in the banana, probably they are getting some different flavor, and smell reduction is going on, because if it is some people may not like the smell. Fishery, come to the fishery in Manipur. Fishery and aquaculture farming is being practiced in around 1 lakh hectare in Manipur. The state has the potential of produce more than 55,000 tons of fish per annum. However, despite having this good potential of fish production, the state produces only 18,000, means almost 1/3 of their potential production is going on. As such, there is a huge gap between demand and supply of the fish, as the state needs around 40,000 tons per annum. Requirement is 40,000 tons per annum. Capacity is around 57,000 tons per annum, and production is 18,000 per annum. So almost 2/3 of their need, they depends on the other states. Good thing is that potential is more than their need, because their need is around 40,000, potential is 57,000. So there will be the one interventions. If production may enhance, probably people may get more revenue, as well as fulfill their own demands. If the potential areas of fish farming are properly managed to the increased fish production, as well as the fish farmers are encouraged with adequate financial assistance by the government, from time to time the state can witness good economic growth by exporting surplus fish production of the other states. See, those are the fish loving peoples. Different kinds of fish available. Wherever you will be visiting to the Manipur, you will see, particularly in the Imphal market, all kinds of fishes you will get. As I said in previous slide, demand is, need is 48,000 tons per year. Capacity of the production is 57, but production is only the 18,000 tons. So there is huge gap. If any government policy increase the production rate, common people may get fish in cheaper way. They may get good revenue of selling. But majority of the fish, 2/3 gap, which is pertaining in the Manipur, majority of the fishes are coming from the Andhra, Telangana. That's why cost is increased day by day. And those people are cultivating, sometimes are not having that much marketing capacity. There, if there will be some networking, some people may come in the form of the self-help group, some from the networking. So probably production rate enhance. See, as I said, beauty of the Manipuri Ima market. You can see all the vendors are the only ladies. And here you can say different kinds of the fishes, fermented, so-called fermented fishes. Even in the second pictures, you can say one lady selling variety of the fermented fishes, not only one type. And here people are visiting, seeing, bargaining, purchasing, everything is. Pineapple cultivation is Manipur. Northeast, 2 states of the northeast region is very, very famous for the pineapple. Number 1 is the Tripura. Tripura pineapple is very famous. Likewise, the Tripura, Manipur pineapple is also very famous. Like any other cash crop, pineapple has also found a place in the soils of Manipur. And the state is also becoming the safe breeding ground for it. Economically, the fruit has also become the backbone of a sizable section of farmers who have been cultivating it their major area of cultivation. इन साहब आप तो गुवाहाटी में हैं, हम पाइनएप्पल एक पाइनएप्पल दिल्ली में 60 रुपए का खरीदते हैं और जब हम इम्फाल में रहते थे तो हम 10 का 1 मिलता था और 25 में हमको 3 मिलते थे। 10 का 1, 25 में 3, इतने बड़े बड़े साइज होते थे। इतना छोटा छोटा साइज हम दिल्ली में 60 रुपए का खरीदते। And see, when the same products transporting from Imphal or the Agartala, it may not take less than 15 days to come to the Delhi mainland. So you can imagine the test, if it is already packed 15 days inside of the gunny bag, what test you are getting? You are paying more, but not getting the original test. If there is something and there is the buffer of the production, whenever during the rainy season, if you are visiting to the street of the Agartala, Manipur, even from Imphal to Nagaland, you may see the plenty of the vendors selling on side of the road only. But they are not getting the good markets. Production is very high, quality is very good, but there is no proper buyer. So it needs, if there is some industry, some peoples may come forward, help them to develop a small scale industry, or may provide the platform. That may be the great contribution to the local peoples who are cultivating. And there is a possibility, not whole products you can sell. If there is possibility to go for this, some different kinds of the products, product based, not a whole plant, not a whole pineapple. So there is a possibility, if someone come forward, you may take the lead. Since you have the students, pilot base, if you can take the MSc student or Pharma students, some students to go for such kinds of the small scale study, probably that may give you more clarity to you to what extent you may go and help to the peoples, because you are the university and you have the students, you have the resources. If you can form 2 to 3 small groups of the members for the different products, for the fishes, for the soybean, for the bamboo shoots or the fine apples, and compile the data, and if you can submit to any funding agency, whatsoever you want, you may get the fund. I am sure you may think about this one. See, खाने का मन होता है, but we are not getting here. And here, people are waiting, consumer. If such kinds of product come in the daily street, people loot lega isko, and they will pay whatever they want. But here, see, nobody is coming.
Right.
Now come to handmade Manipuri dolls. You know, Manipuri Ras Leela is very, very famous, worldwide famous Manipuri Ras Leela. These are the dolls available. Very, very cheap. Why? Because they are not able to sell outside from the Manipur. They don't have the networking. Nobody is coming forward to help them. So my humble request to Professor Singh Saab, see, since you are spending your good time from Lucknow, नवाबों के शहर से जाके गुवाहाटी में अगर हैं तो आप उस कम्युनिटी के लिए, उस स्टेट के लिए, उसकी रीजन के लिए, if you can do something, probably you will be the most happiest than the peoples whom you are going to benefit, because this is our section. See again, vegetables, fruits, flowers, everything available in the market. नागालैंड का चिली भी आप देख लीजिए. You can't see any male vendors here. All markets are run by only the ladies. This is the beauty, as I said earlier. Again, household products available. Everything available. Problem is this, they are not getting any networking. How to sell their products, because if suppose if somebody is purchasing one chaku, it may go for 2-3 years now. How much they are going to sell it now? If these products are available, if there is some mechanism or networking, and if they can go out from their own states, probably there may be the good markets for their products. See here. If these products may come to the outside of the any temples, we in our country there are the big temples. If you will go locally, people's they charge like anything, but here it's very cheap. Cheap because they are producing, but they are not selling in that level. Handloom section at the Ima market, I just said, this is the completely Ima market, mother market, run by the only lady vendors. And every household having the handlooms, they are preparing and selling on the very cheap, very cheap. Even the quality is very good, different colors. If you will enter, you may not stop yourself to purchase, even if you don't require. Because their quality and color combination, everything is very perfect. I do salute these ladies who are preparing their home night and coming to the market. In Manipur, markets are open very early. Sometimes vegetable markets may start around 4:30 in the morning, even in the month of December and January. So people are very hard working, but they need some interventions from the peoples who can help them. One thing, Singh Saab, you may notice it. If you come to the Delhi and Lucknow, you may not see the smiling face of the majority of the peoples, but here you can see.
True, very true.
All are laughing. They are not bothered anything. So this is the beauty of the Northeast. Whatsoever earning doesn't matter. What they will eat at night doesn't matter. But their face always smile. And I said all kinds of the households are available there. Here you can see. Nowadays, you may not get all these surahi and other things in the Lucknow and Delhi, because everybody is using the only freeze. But जो टेस्ट सुराही के पानी से गर्मियों में मिलता है वो कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. Everything is available. I am emphasizing we have to help them. These are the some rice products, rice-based products. During our Makar Sankranti, in our area, people are consuming more Makar Sankranti. Abok, Chimpok, other rice products are available. People are selling. Whatsoever people are coming, they are selling, bargaining. If you are going to talk to them and ask, they will not return you without selling. They will not make you unsatisfied. Whatsoever possible, without profit, they will give you. locally made ladies purse, all local made bori जिसको हम बोलते हैं, bori, local salt pellet. Yeah. Without this product during the winter season, Manipuri foods not completing, particularly in Manipur as well as in the entire northeast region. Initial days, one beans may charge around 100 rupees. After some times when production rate increase, come to the market, probably it may be cheaper, but this is the excellent ingredients of the Manipuri food as well as the other parts of the northeast region. And good combination with the fish. Those who are not loving eating the fish, there is another, you put some potato, something, and this is the another beauty of the entire northeast region, known as the Yongchang or Parkia Raks Bhargai. Yeah, when I was working at the Imphal, we isolated one spirulina, is the microbes, cyanobacteria. Before that, it was assumed that cyanobacteria can grow or only in the South Indian climatic conditions. But see, in first slide, you can see the beauty of the Loktak Lake, which is the largest freshwater body in the entire northeast states. So we isolated, we did some research, we tried to develop some entrepreneurship, because spirulina is known as the excellent single cell protein, having around 65% protein content itself, and perfect food, WHO declared as the best nutritious organism in the nature. And this is again available in the rice Loktak Lake. First time from the northeast region, we have reported, we have isolated, we did some. How the culture? Knowing that if you will start to go for the big industry, due to limitation, start of the limitation, we try to grow in the very cheap methods, plastic tub and buckets. We process optimized and popularized the same products in the Manipur particularly. And we develop some products like the Spiro powder, Spiro gels, Spiro capsule, Spiro papad, and boris. Another algae, this is the red alga. Actually, normally red alga are reported from the marine habitats. Only one alga, which is known as the Lemania nungsam, reported from the Manipur, nowhere from the other parts of India, only from the Manipur, no other parts of the India. This is the nungsam. Nungsam means lady hair. If there is one around 50-60 kilometers from the Imphal capital, one Sugunu river is there. During 1 month, during the December to January, it's appear, and there is no any reports, and and it's consumable. One can easily consume it in Imphal markets during when it's cultivating in the month of the December and January. You will see some vendors are selling in the markets and having good amounts of the protein, no toxins, and reported only from the Manipur, no any till date, no any reports from the other parts of the country having the good amount of the protein, and one can consume it after frying or whatever as per the taste. These are the some, the pigments, natural pigments. Nowadays, people are talking about the natural pigments, because all chemicals are artificial pigments having one or some other toxins or some carcinogenic. So these are the few pigments which our students extracted from the cyanobacteria, and 5 students did PhD from the different pigments, and sources only from the Manipur, and some other parts of the northeast region. I will not take much time. Future perspectives. More small scale business setup for Ngari can be established. Since I will share these slides to you. Is listening. More small scale business setup for Ngari can be established for employment and income generation as the demand is very high. Cold storage and good transportation facilities can enhance a lot of income for pineapple cultivars to export the surplus production after meeting out of the local demand. The huge gap between demand and supply of fish can be met out by encouraging fish farming, which can again serve as employment and income source to the farmers. Handloom and handicraft industries can also be developed to translate into employment, especially to the women folk. Cyanobacteria products can be further analyzed in depth and made available to the common people as rich source of the dietary proteins and food coloring agents. Now I have another 2-3 slides. Is it possible, or I have to stop here? I have 3 more slides.
So you can please proceed.
Okay. Promising resources in Tripura. You know, the bamboo, pineapple, banana, and rubber. These are the 4. See the bamboo, and these are the bamboo products available in the Tripura and Agartala market. Craft industry, there is requirement in craft industry, export business, medicinal use, paper industry. As you know, earlier their government of India started the bamboo mission in northeast region. Seeing that in different parts of the bamboo, there is the different varieties of the bamboo. People are sometimes consuming, preparing something. So, is the one intervention in Tripura is the bamboo. Another is, as we discussed a lot on the pineapple. Tripura pineapples are based in the entire northeast region, even in the country, following the Manipur. Production is so high, but transportation from the Tripura state is very limited. That's why cultivators are not getting their dues. Banana, again, Tripura's banana, you can see here, craft industry, export business, medicinal use, replacing plastics. There is another interventions possible to have a work on the banana. Rubber. Future perspectives, pineapple residue can be explored as a fermented alcoholic products in a small scale industry. Pineapple waste can be processed for cattle feed. Banana stem can be explored as handmade paper of tissue paper. Banana stem can be explored as biofuel production. Wastewater produced after rubber processing is carcinogenic. Wastewater disposal can be explored. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us and all the participants an insight to the various indigenous fermented food which are produced by the indigenous people, that is found in various regions of Northeast. And all those indigenous food as well as those handmade products have been providing since forever as the source of livelihood for them. So it was definitely a very informative session. And now I would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to put his views forward.
Okay. Thank you, Runa. I think we'll be also taking the questions after this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first of all, thank you, Tiwari ji, especially Dr. Tiwari, with respect to not only the products you have mentioned, but also about the very, very important social issue insight about the products which are being sold at a very, very low price. And that is what you have touched upon me the most, because that was also my intention throughout my life. Because I just share one experience with you. Once I was traveling from Lucknow to Mirzapur and Sonobhadra. And on the way, while I was there on the way to Sonobhadra near Mirzapur, I have seen people were spreading their tomatoes. The Mirzapur tomato is a very good quality tomato, a very big size Desi tomato. So that tomato was being thrown on the roads. And I asked those, petty farmers that why you are throwing those products on the road. So they told me, sir, the price as of now, what we are getting in the market is 30 paisa per kg. So it is not even enough to take those products to the market or mandi, and where we can sell it at the cost which is equal to the transportation cost. So there was a problem, and there is still exists a problem. Therefore, whatever you have said, it was really very, very touching for me for the Northeast. In my area also, when the mango production is very huge, big, good production, the mango, the cherry mango, which cost of production I calculated, it minimum goes to 12 to 17 rupees per kg. Minimum cost of production. That mango has been sold at the rate of 5 rupees per kg. I have seen from my eyes. So it means we are not actually eating products at a low price. We are actually sucking the blood of these farmers in a different manner. So it is our responsibility in a way. And I can assure you, I've already messaged my pharmacy department and to Subhashish. I can show it to you that immediately we should start working on this, and we should be doing something not only for the benefit, but also to do some research and find out what best solution we can have. I'm also thinking of setting up a small, maybe stall of handicrafts in my university, where we can put up all these things and all local made products, so that people coming from all the states in Royal Global University, we are very fortunate. We have students from all across the Northeast. So they will come with their products, and they will also find it very good, and we will promote those products. And we may develop some kind of strategy so that those products reach at the very low cost to Delhi or some other cities, Lucknow, and people can get. So this is the 1, 2, 3-tier plan. First do some research, then establish something on our own, and see in future what we can do best for these people. Or maybe we can help the policymakers, the government of Assam, government of Manipur, Meghalaya, to see what can be done, because I mean, they deserve, and very frankly, they deserve that they should get good price for the products they are working upon, and their economy should also be enhanced. So I think this is an inclusive growth, what we are talking about. Vocal for local, that has also been embedded here. And if at all we can make the economy stronger, the pressure on the mega cities and metro cities will be less, people will be happy. And that is the view of Mahatma Gandhi, Gram Swaraj. So we talk from Gram Swaraj to maybe village economy to vocal for local. Everything is embedded, whatever you have said. I think I personally see many avenues and think in that direction. And I hope many of my teachers, I have told to make a group of student and like-minded teachers. Runa, you should also join there. We together will do something which will be actually my honorarium to Dr. Tiwari through this webinar. We're not giving any honorarium to anybody, but then if at all I will be able to do that, I will feel from my heart that I've done something as honorarium too, and for the society at large. So this is my mind, not the concluding remark. I think that probably I assure you I'll do, because I'm very, very closely associated with agriculture. Thank you so much, Runa.
Thank you so much, sir, for your views.
From my side, I am ready to help if you need any help from my side.
Sir, we'll definitely need your help. We'll need your guidance, and we might request you not for funding, but maybe for any kind of expert advice or association, so that we can do something together under your guidance. Right. Thank you.
Sure. It's my pleasure, sir. It's my pleasure.
Sir, now if time permits, can we take a couple of questions? Because there are so many questions that have popped up.
Please.
Right, sir. So the first question is, it from fish has anti-malarial activity, or to some extent an antiviral activity?
Can you repeat your question?
Yes, sir. He wants to know that if sir, his name is not there. Like
okay.
Yeah. So if fermented food like tumtep made from fish has any anti-malarial or antiviral activity?
As I said, there is no scientific interventions done by anyone. By traditional way, people are storing, taking out without knowing the load of bacteria or any other microbes. So this is the need of the day to someone worker. There is no scientific study done by anyone. Some people are doing, but probably for their own interest, for the publications, for something like this. But if someone is coming forward to help the society, that may be the very basic research, starting not only from the fermented fish, all kinds of so-called fermented. There are so many people in Northeast region doing very excellent in IBSD, in Sikkim University. There are people doing for the society, for the benefits, but you know, there is no ends of the good work. If you can contribute something from your side, probably that may be the again contribution for the society. There are the people's working.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure he has got his answer. My next question is from Dr. Ruth Laldin Thar from Manipur. He is asking, what is the right way to choose the right soybean for consumption, as every year in Manipur, fermented soybean food consumption leads to death, many deaths.
There is full-fledged research institute in Imphal itself, IBSD. There is one great scientist who is very extensively working on the different fermented products, including the soya bean, and he trained many students, local students, did PhD. So all information available with this group. If someone is interested, may contact to the authority of the IBSD, get all the information. The scientist is Dr. K. Jairam, who is renowned for the fermented food of the Manipur, particularly ngari, soya bean, and bamboo. So he or she may get the all relevant information from the IBSD, since he is from the Manipur. So if you will speak 1 or 2 minutes, probably that may vanish, but all the information available in his own place. And the scientist is a very excellent, unparalleled.
Right.
This area.
Thank you, sir. Next question is from Santosh Patra. He's asking, is there an effective way to preserve all the food products for future use if there is any food crisis?
It will depend on the product to product. You can't run all things in one stick. There will be the different kinds of the stick. So there is no such kinds of methodology available till date to preserve all items in one way. As many times I emphasize, there should be the very extensive study required for the different products or the different resource, for the different resource.
Right, sir. So next question is, did fermented vegetables can digest as they contain cellulose, pectin and other insoluble substances, and how it is going to be convenient?
Can you repeat once? Please repeat your question.
Yes, sir, sure. Fermented vegetables can digest as fermented vegetables contain cellulose, pectin and other insoluble substances. Like, is it going to be convenient to take? He's asking that.
Sometimes it will depend who is going to consume it. What is your stamina, your gut microbiota? Everybody is having some useful and the harmful bacteria in our body who are directly responsible for the digestion. So answer, it's good or the bad, or the common answer, it's not possible. It will depend on your stamina. But all the times fermented foods are very good, commonly.
Right, sir. I'm sure he has got his answer. And next question is from
only one question, please. I have another meeting.
Right, sir. Okay, sir. This is the last question.
आप किसी दिन और कर लीजिएगा. I am ready.
Right, sir. We will be glad to have you here, sir.
मैं कुछ और बोलूँगा दूसरी बार में. ये नहीं बोलूँगा, कुछ और बोलूँगा. कभी आप फिर से कर लीजिएगा.
Right, question और ले सकते. Okay, so the last question is, sir, what are the protocols for the standardization of fermented foods, and any safety assessment techniques are required to conduct for yielding high quality and safe products?
My answer is it varied products to products. Common protocol is nowhere existing. Like if you are using fish as a raw material or bamboo or soybean XYZ, there is a different kinds of the protocols. You can't use a common protocol for all products because all products having different kinds of the microorganisms. Even their production, everything is varied. So it depends on what kinds of raw material you are going to use for the fermentation. But technologies and procedures, protocols are available. You have to test with your organism.
Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us such an informative session and also giving us your valuable time. Thank you so much, sir. It was an honor to have you here and get to share the screen with you, of course. And I would also like to thank our Vice Chancellor, Sir